study on the breathing pattern of dinosaurs by Shreya, Lavannaya, Rohan, and Vijay. When I was little, I wondered whether creatures like dinosaurs, mammoths, dragons, and unicorns were all real. Yes, I categorized dinosaurs and mammoths along with mythical creatures such as unicorns. Later, as I grew older, I learned that dinosaurs were real and they did real things like eat plants and animals, fly or walk on land, and breathe. A recent study ventured to learn about how a certain breed of dinosaurs, the Pachycephalosaurus or Pachy, actually breathes, and what a property a Pachy dinosaur's breathing has. Before we can understand the breathing of this dinosaur, however, and can draw any educated conclusions, let's first begin by getting an overview of what's important to understand the study. First things first, dinosaurs came about and flourished during the Mesozoic era and the Phanerozoic eon. During the Mesozoic era, along with dinosaurs came the first mammals, first birds-like reptiles, and first angiosperms. Dinosaurs, however, were the kings of the land, and the variety of dinosaur species ruled the area. They walked on land and flew in the air and came in a variety of sizes. While some were vegetarian, others were carnivores. Dinosaurs went extinct during the end of the Mesozoic era due to a mass extinction explained by the impact hypothesis, which suggested that a meteor crash was the main reason that dinosaurs went extinct. When dinosaurs went extinct, they left behind a variety of bird-like reptiles and mammals which now had a lay of the land. These descendants depended on the complex skeletal and sensory system to circulate air throughout their body and also sense their environment through certain modes such as smell. As we've learned thus far, when animals are being created, an egg is fertilized by a sperm. This egg then undergoes cleavage where rapid cell division takes place. After the cells have divided and multiplied, they undergo gastrulation. All the cells move around a region of fluid called a blastocele. Cells move around and separate into the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. It is the mesoderm that creates bones and cartilage that shape breathing patterns. The complex structure of the skull through which air circulates is a product of the cells that came about from the mesodermal cells within an animal. Kinda cool, right? The sensory nervous system is just as important to understand before we can begin to understand the breathing patterns of the extinct dinosaurs. The nose is a mode through which odorants pass. Odorants are airborne molecules that convey information about smell. These odorants diffuse through mucus layer and activate olfactory neurons that go up to the olfactory bulb, which is the part of the brain where signals of smell are decoded. Now that we have a better understanding of the time when dinosaurs came about, have the background information on the formation of skeletal system, and a better understanding of the sense of smell, we can finally begin to understand how a Pachy dinosaur took in air and interpreted it. Ohio University scientists found that dinosaurs' breathing mechanism took in air not only enhanced their smell, but also cooled their brain. Pachy dinosaurs have scrolls of bones within their nasal region that are known as turbinates, which circulate air into the skull. These turbinates act as cooling devices for the brain. They keep the brain from overheating. The first turbinate of the dinosaur was found in the olfactory region of the brain. Outside research also indicates that turbinates help focus airflow into a small cavity only a few centimeters wide where hundreds of olfactory receptors reside. What do olfactory receptors really do? As discussed earlier, olfactory receptors receive odorants and pass the information along to the olfactory bulb. It is not surprising, therefore, that the dinosaur has an extremely developed sense of smell. Further research is being done to see if all dinosaurs had a similar format for processing odorants, and if all air particles making contact with the nose serve the dual purpose of cooling the brain and providing sense of smell. Other research studies indicated that the first bird, heard to have descended from a dinosaur, also had a very strong sense of smell. Research then has been performed to understand why current birds have a weak sense of smell. Findings indicated that the current birds have a weaker sense of smell due to a smaller olfactory bulb, which leads to a weaker sense of smell. Evolutionarily, birds' need for a strong sense of smell has decreased. So, a trivia question before we leave. What does a turbinate do? 1. It acts as a cooling device for the brain. 2. It directs air to the olfactory bulb. Or 3. All of the above? If you guessed all of the above, you were absolutely correct. We hope you learned something from this, even if it was that dinosaurs aren't mythical creatures.